Welcome back to the Docket Dodgers, everyone. My name is Matt Hager, a criminal defense attorney practicing in both Kentucky and West Virginia, and I'm joined today by
Wade Hall. I'm a law student and law clerk for Matt this summer.
Now, Wade, I'm sure you've seen by now, it's all over social media, this Rob Magnifico character.
I've heard of Magnifico. Some say he's a hero. Some say he's a villain. I'm not sure where he falls.
Not only a villain, a super villain.
Super villain.
I mean, he's pushing kids down everywhere.
Well, you know, those kids in Pennsylvania, they need to be showed what's what, I hear.
And he is doing exactly just that. But seriously, guys, we've got new updates in the Rob Magnifico case. I know a lot of you seen the video, him pushing the teen down, but we have new information. We have new videos to show people that people may have never seen before. And Wade, I have even found a federal lawsuit naming Rob Magnifico in the lawsuit that we'll talk about today.
It's very interesting stuff, and I can't wait to dive into it.
Okay, well, let's dive right in. Let's pull up the main video, the one that's going around like wildfire on social media. This is the video in a Sheetz gas station.
Now, in Pennsylvania, I don't know if you know this, Matt, but Sheetz, it's a pretty big deal.
Is it?
Yeah, there's two competing brands of gas station in Pennsylvania. One is Sheetz, one is Wawa. We're on the western side of the state. That's big Sheetz territory.
So that's near you. That's near Morgantown.
That is near Morgantown, and there are Sheetz just about every block up there around Pittsburgh.
So you Sheetz or Wawa?
I'm a Sheetz man, open 24/7. Good place to go and spend a night.
Okay, well, here we go. Here is the video of Rob Magnifico. He is in the gas station with this young teenager, and evidently he's wanting his phone back. Is that what you get out of it, Wade?
Yeah, I believe they were there earlier. They were asked to leave, but after they left, he realized he forgot his phone, and he went back for the device, but the employee or someone didn't want to give it back to him, either the employee or the cop, but we see it here in the video.
Well, I mean, it's a very good excuse to roid out, and we'll see why. Here we go.
Who's here?
It's a public place. You're not.
Who's here?
Okay?
Please tell me who's here.
I'm here.
I don't give a fuck. Bro, I want my phone.
Well, understand this, son.
Yo.
No. I'm not going to put up with this shit.
Yo.
Understand who you're talking to.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo.
Not going to put up with your crap. I told you to quit yelling and screaming. You're not allowed here. Leave. My name is Magnifico. My badge number is 5815. Don't touch me. Touch me again.
Bro, where your body?
Okay, Wade, what do you think? First impressions?
I really think the unregulation of steroids by police officers leads to a lot of incidents like this.
And so we see that I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why this kid couldn't get his phone back and leave. If you see at one point that he puts in the PIN number and shows that the officer that it's his cell phone.
Well, he didn't respect his authority.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a big problem.
That's a big problem.
But we want to talk about a little bit about when officers can use force. And I think we talked about this before on the channel, and that's the gram factors. And the gram factors are the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officer or others, or whether the suspect is actively resisting or arrest or attempting to flee. Now, Wade, do you think that this young man was doing any of those things?
No, he was just asking for his phone. Wasn't the most polite about it, but phones are quite expensive. And I think if they just gave it to him and everyone went on their way that night, that it would have been better for everyone involved.
Supreme Court case law out there that says that, you know, an officer can't use force just to punish someone or in retaliation for speech.
So when it comes to retaliation, you can see the cop wasn't using force or hands-on until he told him go F himself, and that was really what set him off. It wasn't that he was trespassing or breaking a law. It was that he disrespected the officer, and that's where a lot of these incidents come from, is disrespect of officer.
I think they actually had an investigation into this matter, and I think it took some time, but the city of Elwood, it's Elwood Police Department is where this happens. I think they actually came up with a decision on Rob Magnifico.
Yeah, so Magnifico here, he's a public employee, and before you can terminate or fire, change pay, they have to have a Loudermill hearing, and that is a part of your due process rights. And generally, a public employee, they have a property right in their job and employment and keeping it relatively the same. So that gives him a chance to explain his actions and go over the evidence they have against him.
Okay. And do you know the result? What happened to was Sergeant Magnifico, but I don't think it's Sergeant now, is it?
Nah, you jumped the gun there on me. The council came to a decision, and they demoted him from sergeant down to officer. And after his 20 plus years of experience, that probably is a little upsetting to him. He also received 10 days of unpaid leave, which, the beginning of June here is a nice little vacation. And he has to do some anger management training. As you can tell from the video, words make him pretty red.
Oh, he looks pretty cool, like a pretty cool guy to me. He doesn't get upset about much.
Well, good thing he's the head coach of the local football team. I'm sure if you miss a block or don't field a punt, he's really understanding and nice about that.
Only words of encouragement.
Only words of encouragement.
And speaking of knowing that he's from a local coaches a local football team, we kind of found that on social media comments. So we have some social media comments that you have found that you'd like to share with our viewers.
Oh, absolutely. So when it comes to these local incidents, it's spread nationally. We're talking about it here in West Virginia, but the local people have the best insight. And if you can dig through the Facebook comments, you can come across a couple just really good ones. So we have a local resident here, Roxanne. She says, many years ago, I had a situation disagreement with the football coach. He came to my home in his police uniform and was very aggressive. The last thing he said was if my son ever played football while he was the coach, my son would sit the bench. He turned his anger towards a child and made a threat, which I also considered a promise. This was the last year my son played football for Elwood City. My son was a little Wolverine, probably around 10 years old at this time.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure you found more, haven't you, Wade?
Oh, absolutely.
It just keeps going on. The hits
keeps going.
The hits keep coming.
Keeps coming. But there are supporters of him. They have a change.org petition that says basically that the kid flopped. Like the officer came over, barely touched him, and he just fell on purpose to make it seem like the officer was in the wrong.
Oh, did you see on the video that the officer walks up to him and says, "Don't touch me"? And he actually chest bumps the kid and says, "Don't touch me."
Well, if you believe this change.org petition, that's all Hollywood CGI.
Oh, yeah, it's AI.
Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah.
But 320 people support that. But after that, some of the comments on the post, this one really stood out to me. I'm glad to hear that he's done good towards you and others. All have misstepped at times and are redeemable. That said, those sworn to uphold and defend the Constitution should not act in ways that directly suppress the liberties it affords. Regardless of how cherished a person might be, their actions while wearing a badge must remain constitutional.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, it's you have to hold yourself in a different regard whenever you wear that badge and you're a government actor. I mean, people have rights and people's rights don't need to be trampled on.
And I always go back to this. I think when you are an elected official, you wear a badge, you should be held to a higher standard.
Absolutely.
We as a community trust you. You should be the bigger person.
Exactly. And there's actually, and that brings us to a good point, there's actually Supreme Court case law that says that they should have thicker skin, like a police officer should have thicker skin, and they shouldn't retaliate against your speech. I mean, the boy was trying to plead his case to get his phone back, and the officer wasn't liking what he's saying, and you see what happened to that young man. He got pushed down. And actually, the Supreme Court case we're talking about is Houston v. Hill, which says that those police officers need to hold themselves into a higher regard and have thicker skin.
Absolutely. Furthermore, in the comments, it brings up some other incidents this officer has been involved in. And I believe that we have some unseen video related to that.
Oh, we do. This was actually posted on a news outlet's Facebook page, and it's I can't remember exactly the name of the person who posted it, but it's a similar incident that happened to a teen at a it looks like a high school basketball game. If I was going to guess, it looks like it's some sort of gymnasium, and we'll watch that right now.
Look at this, bro. Look at this goofy ass shit. Look. Get out.
So we see there that he's got another, appears to be a teen. The Facebook commenter said it was a teen. He has them down on the ground. He's got his hands to their neck and face area and is holding them down and pushing them down. Then he jerks him up, then he slams him back down again. And you can hear the people in the background, hey, you're choking him. Hey, you're hurting him. Just let him up.
Yeah, the officer seems to just really love to discipline children. I'm not sure if he has any of his own, but he loves to get on top of other people's.
And, you know, that's the thing. We're seeing a pattern of behavior with Rob Magnifico that there was a 2017 incident that a guy actually came to the parking, to the police station, and he was wanting to talk about a parking ticket. He talked to an officer that wasn't Magnifico, but Magnifico quickly got involved, and it quickly became not de-escalated. It quickly got escalated really quickly, and we'll watch that right now.
Guys, over in North Side.
All right.
I was just curious on why.
What's it say on it?
Said I was too close to the curb or
Curb?
intersection.
Okay. Were you too close to the intersection?
No.
Well, I saw it and I gave the tickets. You were.
Okay. I would have brought my tape measure out and showed you that it wasn't.
Sorry. You're more than welcome to.
I gave it
Not-
back. So,
You can give it back. You're going to get a citation. Okay.
well, I mean, why would I get a citation?
Because if you don't pay a parking ticket, then it turns into a citation.
No, not guilty.
No.
It's just your word against mine.
It is.
Oh,
You can talk to Lieutenant Kingston. He's the officer in charge.
Oh, he's in charge right now?
Nope.
Oh, well then why'd you say he was in charge?
He is the officer in charge of this department. Lieutenant Kingston.
Okay. Well, he's not here right now,
Nope.
and I'm speaking to you, and
You are.
it's your discretion against anybody else's.
Eh,
There's a law,
listen.
not.
You can pull out the crimes
can't
code.
prove it.
The vehicle code.
You can't prove it. What's the code?
Then don't pay it.
What's the code?
Then don't pay it. You'll receive a citation.
What's the code?
Okay?
What's the code?
It's in the vehicle code. Go ahead, look it up.
What? Go ahead. You're the officer that gave me the ticket. You
You're
cited
right,
me.
but
What
you
is
know
it?
what?
What is it?
It's your responsibility.
It is not my responsibility.
Yeah, it is. Well, you got the
you're
ticket,
you're
didn't
to
you?
protect and
All right,
serve
buddy,
me.
pay the ticket,
Go ahead.
okay?
I'm going to go get my ticket back out of here. Is what I'm going to do.
Good. You have to take it home with you and pay it.
I'm not going to pay. I'm going to talk to Officer Kingston, and I'm going to wonder why you're such an asshole. So it's not going to happen.
What did you call? What did you say?
So it's not going to happen.
What did you say to me out there?
It's not going to happen.
Okay, what did you call me?
To make a difference.
It does make a difference. It's called disorderly conduct.
It's not disorderly conduct.
Okay, you want to try that again?
No.
All right, you take that ticket. You have this building. Okay, and you want to carry it back. Good. Pay the ticket.
I'm not going to.
Let me know this. That's the one that's here, I'm a 3-0 dog. He thinks he knows the law better than
I asked him a question. That's it.
What makes you think you can talk to us like that?
Talk to you like what?
Mother effing him. Why do you think you can do that on a public street? You can't. It's against the law.
So nobody heard me.
You still can't do it. In a public place, you can't do it.
Nobody heard me.
It doesn't make a difference. You're on a public street. Your problem is nothing.
It's public, right?
Nothing. Right. It's public, and you can't cuss and swear in public. It's against the law.
Well, he did.
It is not.
Okay.
It's not against the law for him.
Okay.
It's not disorderly conduct for
Fight him.
him.
He's an idiot. What's that? What's that? What's that to my face, pal? I'm standing right here. You think you're such a tough guy?
You're such
Why
a
don't you
tough
say it to
guy.
my face, huh? Why don't you make a move? Because
Why do
you
I
can't.
got to?
Because you get your
got
ass
to move.
kicked. That's
Yeah.
why. Because you're an idiot.
Hand behind your back. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, my hand's behind the back. My hand's behind my back. Stop. I'm not resisting arrest.
I don't care. You have never learned one thing in your life, have you?
For what?
You come down with a stupid parking ticket and you gotta act like an idiot.
Turn around. Dude, I can't turn around.
Turn around, right?
Hands off my neck, dude.
Tell him to turn around right now.
Dude,
Turn around right now.
Turning around.
Turn around right now. Put your hands up. Get on the ground right now. Don't you fucking move. You understand me? Don't you fucking move. Now you're in for it. Okay? You want to fuck around? This is what happens. Okay? You done now? Put your hand out. Put your hand out.
Sorry, dude.
I can't breathe, man. I don't care.
So we all just watched this video together. I think the most interesting part is the video difference from the criminal complaint.
Oh yeah. They actually the story, the narrative that the officers tell, which was reported by a news outlet, is completely different than what we actually seen in the video. And I will pull that up now.
And as you guys noticed, when he was saying this is a public street, that matters. That matters for the opposite reason of what the officer is saying. You can say whatever you want on a public street, and it doesn't matter if you cuss. Now, if you incite violence or try to say some fighting words to someone, that can make a difference with your First Amendment right. But telling a cop that you don't like him or you think he's dumb, that's not illegal.
Exactly. And this is what the officer said that their narrative was. They said that Perry Russell Malcolm, 34 Beaver Falls, will be faced with felony charge of disarming a law enforcement officer, misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest, and an infraction for charge for disorderly conduct. They said about approximately 5:51 p.m., the officer was requested to respond to the rear of Elwood City Police Department to speak with Malcolm regarding a parking ticket he had received earlier that day. Malcolm questioned the ticket, and the responding officer advised why he had gotten the ticket, prompting Malcolm to become hostile. The officer advised he could speak with the lieutenant the next day when he was on duty in order to discuss the ticket. However, Malcolm stated he was going back into the municipal building to give the ticket back to the officer, who again advised the man to either pay the ticket or talk to the lieutenant the next day. Malcolm started shouting profanities at the officer and continued into the municipal building while the officer followed behind, asking him to leave the premises because it was not business hours. The officer was escorting the defendant, who was still shouting profanities and being hostile, out of the municipal building, and advised him that if he did not calm down, he would be arrested for disorderly conduct. At this time, backup arrived, who was Magnifico.
To the rescue.
And Malcolm continued their harassment, prompting the officers to ask him to turn around because he was under arrest. Despite being tased, he was still able to grab the officer's taser. Now, did you see that in the video, Wade?
No, I did not see that in the video. And mostly the reason I didn't see it is because these officers are not wearing body cams because they don't want you to see what they do.
What we heard from the cell phone audio dubbed with the security footage from the police station is that he was trying to turn around, and they were telling him that he was resisting, and he's like, "Guys, I'm not resisting. My hands are behind my back. What are you doing to me?"
Yeah, how he was actively talking would not imply that he was trying to go for their tasers or their weapons.
And we've seen it in the Sheets video with the teen, and we see it in this video that it seems like Magnifico's go-to is you're being disorderly.
You're being disorderly, but I'm going to go put my chest up into yours and yell at you.
Right. And, in Pennsylvania, being disorderly, it's called unreasonable noise. And for it to rise to the level of disorderly conduct, they have to look at the volume of the noise. If it's actually really disruptive to the people who are around, and if the officer is being just as loud, they can't cite you for disorderly conduct.
And as we watched the video, yeah, he called him an asshole going into it, right? Mm-hmm. Walking into the station. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to their volume level, the volume level does not increase until Magnifico arrives to the scene. That's when the yelling begins.
And another key point on disorderly conduct, there has to actually be an incident that's been reported by another person other than the police officer to the incident. And to the person who reported this, I guess, was Magnifico, reported it to himself?
I suppose so. He did his report in the third person. He complained, and he did something about it.
Well, if you don't know, Wade, Rob Magnifico is actually a victim. He's not an aggressor. He's a victim.
He's a victim.
Yes. We have uncovered exclusively here at the Docket Dodgers a federal lawsuit that Magnifico filed in 2017. And if you think this is a coincidence, not, Wade, because why?
Well, I would say it's the timing of it. You just happen to have a very negative video of you coming out. You're being accused of some misconduct. Well, why don't you just go and push that can down the road? You blame someone else for misconduct and get the heat off your back a little bit.
Exactly. The parking ticket incident happened around March of 2017, and just so happened on June 29, 2017, Magnifico filed his own lawsuit against the borough of Elwood City, and it was for discrimination.
Discrimination? How did they discriminate against this officer?
Well, he says that the department has actually made racial slurs at him for being of Italian descent. He said that the mayor is complacent because the mayor would not respond to his complaints about the ongoing mistreatment of him, and it's made him feel very uncomfortable in his workplace. And they have said some very derogatory things about him. And Wade, some of this stuff that I can't say on the air, but it's very derogatory towards Italian ethnicity and other cultural ethnicities as well. I don't know whether this is true or not. I hope that it's not true, but it could very well be. In all fairness, we don't really know what's going on. But like you said, Wade, the timing of the whole thing.
The timing is very, very convenient. He's worked at the police department since the 1990s, late 90s, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he just had the discrimination come up right after these questionable videos come out about him, and he's accused of abusing his position of power.
Yeah, if it's true, we hope it's not true, but if it's true, it's a very convenient.
The timing is very convenient.
Yeah, the timing is very convenient. So, so that's what we have about Robert Magnifico. Wade, you got any final thoughts about this guy?
Final thoughts? I want to see where this arc goes, this villain or hero arc. What is he going to do now in the future, now that he's not a sergeant and he's getting up there in age? I would say he probably had aspirations of maybe being the chief of police, since Elwood City lacks one, and I think that is where a lot of this lack of accountability comes from. There doesn't seem to be anyone in charge over there.
I would agree with that. And you know, it's really surprising and really shocking. You have all these comments on social media from people out in the community. You have reported incidents of over and over again of reported abuse of power. And I just don't know how this guy still has a job.
Well, he has two jobs. He's the police officer and he's the coach of the local football team. So he's double dipping in the county salaries.
And
over there.
You think that has a little bit to do with it, that he's the football coach?
I think it depends what the record's going to be.
They might be looking for a reason right now.
It's going to be like, remember the Titans up there in Pennsylvania. He's going to have to win every game, I think.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button, guys. We are very impressed with how much our little channel has grown. I mean, we started this way. We started this about a month ago.
About a month, not even.
Not even a month. And I mean, you guys give us hope to keep on going. So give us more hope. Make this go viral. Hit that subscribe. Share this with everybody you know. Hit that like button. Leave us a comment of what you think about Robert Magnifico. And until next time, this has been the Docket Dodgers, Matt and Wade. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.